Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Virgo January 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and if you might be curious as to what is involved in a personal one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description below. Now, as the subscribers know, there are no video advertisements in this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. And of course, if you haven't seen your 2023 annual forecast, just go to the playlist on my channel and it is set out very easily and simply there. But let's now take 5 cards, because as the subscribers know, 5 is all we need to permit them to speak to us, the 4 of gourds, and speak to us they do. And what is here from in this middle area here? What's that? The moon. Oh, I like the moon. What's this? Young staff. That might be a knight, I suppose, of staff would be wands, I imagine. Now, the imagery on here is sub-Saharan African, and it's particularly beguiling. I think you will agree. Beautifully done. You wanted to leap out, whoever you may be, so we shall see. There is the 8 of blades and something from deep in the middle in here, shall we? What might this be? You want to come. There is always a reason for you here, and it is the rider, as it's called. The rider, indeed. Right. Why don't you come, as is our usual practice? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do your reading for you. Now, I'm going to start with this 8 of blades only because it's telling me of some disconcerting energy that's around you, probably for a moment, but it's overcome by these other great energies and you ultimately triumph. But this is something, look, forewarned is forearmed, and this is forewarning you. Now, this 8 of blades is Jupiter, the great benefic, ruling the first decan of Gemini, which is the 21st to 31st of May. Now, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, isn't it? And in order for Jupiter to get into Gemini, it has to go 180 degrees away from its home in Sagittarius to the opposite side of the zodiac wheel to get into Gemini. And therefore, Jupiter is going to be in detriment. Now, Jupiter is weakened, and the inquisitive and pressing nature of Gemini inhibits Jupiter even further. So a weakened Jupiter means that you may feel that you can't get what you want due to too many, as the Gemini aspect, distractions, which may or may not be self-created. There is a sort of a sense here of holding yourself back or even quitting before you start because you think that you might fail with something. Is there some problem with your endurance? I do see here that you worry a lot. You're worrying, thinking too much, and maybe having a difficulty in making a choice. Now, this energy here really does highlight the overworked, tired mind. And remember the time of year that this is. You may in the holidays have worn yourself out. A tired mind that is fearful of making the wrong choice, leaving you powerless and in a mental state of oppression. Now, the experience of feeling lost, alone, helpless perhaps, or at a standstill with no solution and no one to help you with your own unique problem, you think, might seem overwhelming. Now, something has put your thoughts at a crossroads, incapable of choosing a path. Your mind is only focused on the blocks, the obstacles, and there is here, I think, a lack of clarity. There is a feeling here that you feel trapped and boxed in a situation with no way out. and the ability to trust yourself and embrace your intuition seems to be buried in a mental chaos. Well, the path of the Eight of Swords leads you to a place where there is a need to just quiet your mind. Things are going to be all right. It's not a time necessarily to make a big decision. Rather, it is a time to regroup and reconnect to your inner power and spiritual intellect. The mind and the heart need to regain balance. Now, you could do this through prayer or meditation, even just taking time to walk in nature. These will begin to ease your mind. Obstacles, fears, blocks, and problems are lessons that we all experience on each of our own paths through life. Recognize what is holding you back. Your goal is to abandon your conflict and create a balance with the ego and the heart, merging with divine intellect. Now, on your path to self-discovery, this 8 will present you with test after test to awaken your true self, empowering you to really get past life's constant interferences and blocks. And it does bring you the opportunity to see life from an expanded view and clear perspective. If there is a need for guidance, just ask, whether it be from a friend, a counselor, or your spirit guides, because you do have spirit guides. Ask, and sometimes you will see that the answer is just so simple. Now, I want to go to the other end of that diagonal there because I think that there is a connection. Let me see what is here. This is, of course, the major arcana of the moon. Hello, moon. Are you, madam? Good to see you. Well, the moon illuminates your surroundings, casting light on what you have to work with. However, you must always remember that things are not always as they seem. The light of the moon can definitely play tricks with your own vision and could lead you back to where you began if you're out walking in a dark forest with no signposts and no light. This is the final test before the light of the sun shines upon you. The moon is always in sync with the natural cycles and rhythms of life, drawing out the psychic and intuitive nature that you possess. The moon teaches you to follow and stay in sync with this rhythm. Now, the astrology of this, for me, is that of Neptune in Pisces, with Venus exalted, and the question really is it a reality or is it an illusion? An illusion, I should say. Now, Pisces is here, and Pisces is very much associated with the subconscious, with what's below, with emotions, with intuition, and with artistry. And Neptune's watery depths are associated with dreams, visions, and the imagination, which links it in well with the qualities of the moon, I think. There is a sense here that there is a final testing of you at this time, and this is coming on connected to this. It's asking, what wrong turns have you made in the previous year? What illusions have you been deluded by? It's about burning of karma. There is an interaction or struggle with the subconscious, but there is coming here a movement, a development of new levels of consciousness with you. And just as this card here spoke of, there could be during this period some mental confusion there. It could be a difficult period where you're lacking clarity, or there is a deception about someone may be misleading you. You may well find out a secret or find out something that you were previously unaware of, which shocks you, or which you thought, oh, I did not expect that to be the case. I do think, though, that there is increased psychic awareness that's possible here for you. There is something going on in your life which is not as it appears to be. There's a situation that is deceiving. You may feel still lost in life and unsure about which way to go. This is a hangover of this tired mind. I think that you're mentally worn out, but you get through it. You may also be harboring negativity that you have suppressed or not even been aware of, and there is a need to release this destructive energy, probably through forgiveness. Do you know, things happen to you in life, don't they, which have caused you to shed tears, and very often you, at this time of year in particular, can think back and ruminate, because you have time on your hands perhaps, ruminate on things that have gone wrong. But remember that the tears you shed, well, they water the gardens in your heart. It is a time for you at this time of year to let go of the anchors to the past, to let go of the attachment to the hurts that events, situations, or people have brought to you. And the only way to do this is through forgiveness. Now, you may say that forgiveness is impossible, that you've tried to do it. It's hard. I know it's hard, but I'm going to tell you a way where I think it is going to make a lot of sense for you, and it will be easy and change your life. And it is this, that forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Now, I know that you may think that forgiveness means accepting what has happened in your life or to you. Well, it isn't that. It is accepting that it has happened to you. It is not accepting that it was okay for it to happen. It is accepting that it has happened. And now, what are you going to do moving forward? Because the past is in the cemetery. Don't join it. Forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on to the hoping and wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. It's giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when you get that, it will take you to the next level of being a more complete person, because you don't hold grudges for anything or any situation or anyone. And when you let go, the past does not hold you in a prison cell any longer, nor does it hold you hostage to life. Well, shall we look at the card which is on the same horizontal, and that is this, which is Four of Gourds. Gourds, of course, are just receptacles for holding liquids like water, as they would be traditionally in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, here we see someone sitting on a stone in a deep state of focus. It is at this place that you may find yourself numb and apathetic with regard to what lies before you. You may also find yourself going within to tap into your higher intuition. It is from the seat of your higher self that you are able to realize the new opportunity that is now emerging. Now, this fourth gourd, looking at this thing up here, it seems like it is appearing from a different dimension, or from heaven itself, overflowing with fresh new water to fill the gourds below. And it's up to you to stand on your rock and take this new gourd by the hand, directing it to what you need to fill. Now, this really speaks of a time that is of balance and stability for you. You're moving out of this funk. Things are going well. You have 3 gourds in front of you. But yet there is a sense that something important is still missing. The waters are no longer rushing towards you, and this calm could also breed anxiety. So it becomes a very fine line between appreciating what you have, evaluating where you are, and not becoming too self-centered to move forward once again. But if you use this time to settle into your own voice now and sense of yourself, you'll be better prepared to sense what's coming next and for the year ahead. Now, who knows what great blessings are about to drop from heaven for you. Now, the astrology is that of the sun in the third decan of Capricorn, the 13th to the 21st of January. And Capricorns are feet on the ground. Eye on the prize sign, one of your sister earth signs. And those with the sun in Capricorn, they have a realistic and grounded approach to life, really. Well, here what's happening is that the sun is now energizing the Capricorn earth, and material benefits and power are the result. Now, the sun in astrology is the symbol of your dynamism or power, and Capricorn is the application of that power in a useful way. So I see manifestation of things coming towards you here. There is crystallization of events that you are longing for. Now, this energy brings balance back to your heart and indicates a time to reflect on the emotional self. It presents the opportunity to shift this energy which was stuck. When this Four of Gourds enters, you may be feeling out of sync or uncertain and apathetic about life, not sure about what action to take. It calls you to reevaluate your present situation, your relationships, and your emotional attachments. The key to this energy is self-reflection, viewing and reevaluating outgrown emotional parts and shifting energies of discontentment to a place of neutrality where you just don't care about them. The gift of this energy restores emotional balance, bringing peace, renewal, healing, and movement. Now, when this energy comes, as it has done, something has been off, I think, signaling a time to rebalance and allowing time to withdraw and regain your emotional balance and trust in your heart. Ease your emotions with meditation maybe, or even just reading an inspirational book or taking a long walk in nature. It works. Open yourself to the whispers of the soul self and the divine. This is not a time to make hasty conclusions or decisions. I think we saw that before. And ask yourself, what feels outgrown? What do I need to let go? This is the perfect time of year to do it. And how do I do that? What will bring more fulfillment into my life? Embrace and trust the cycles of change. This Four represents one of the many cycles in life that brings the gifts of inner cleansing. This card can bring expansion, growth, and it does bring with it emotional stability. This brings opportunity to open yourself to heart wisdom, thus allowing you to shift and move this stuck energy, and it revitalizes your heart, mind, and senses. But there is definitely a turning point for you during this period, because you go through that process where I think you sort of felt a bit stuck, didn't you? Mind overworked. Then that cleans out and you turn around and things start moving forward again. And you walk the golden paved roads. Now this is called the Rider. Hello, Rider. Well, do you know, I think that once a state of wholeness is reached, the intense energy of this rider will burst through. The energy surrounds the rider and propels it forward, and yet it is the rider who focuses that powerful energy on their destination, which is what you will be doing. Now, the tiger, sitting at the yoke, looks on in the opposite direction. Tigers are fierce, bold, and aggressive, and their instincts are always at the ready, prepared for the unpredictable obstacles standing in its way. It is the tiger that protects you and the rider, and aggressively pushes its way through to reach the finishing line. Thus, the rider can stand firm, navigating and aligning the direction of the chariot with the will or intention that has been set. Now, to be the rider, you must trust yourself and that which is beyond self, to know that the flow of life is what ultimately leads you towards your best and highest expression. Now, a lock sits at the rider's heart as a symbol of protection, while the crown atop the rider's head bursts with energy and reception of divine knowledge. This union has created a wholeness and sense of awareness. Now that the path and direction have been lit, it is even more important for you to be mindful and protective of yourself and your energies, lest you end up misguided or misdirected, because that is not what is your fate. In a nutshell, this card here really represents victory through willpower and self-mastery. Now, the rider's number is 7. 7 is the number of mastery, of victory and initiation. 7 is the number of the seeker and transformation. Now, this chariot here, that brings change. Change helps you grow, evolve, and transform on many levels. Change brings opportunity, new life, new reality, new views and perspectives that stretch and deepen your human nature. Change is magical. It opens doors and creates opportunities. How you drive your chariot is a reflection of how you handle life and its oppositions. Now, the chariot is full of movement and opportunities. It also gives you rest, so you are able to listen to your intuition, to your inner voice. Now, she brings you the willpower and intuition to ride the rocky course of life into victory. Now, when this rider enters, she brings you confidence, energy, strength, focus, and maturity to follow through with any endeavor you are pursuing. If you are experiencing conflict, she brings you the courage and the drive to surpass your challenge. See your life through the soul of the rider. You will discover how to control and use your intuition and personal power, directing its creative force into success and victory. You are the driver of your destiny. This is a turning point for you. It's hope, optimism, and the way forward is clear. It's blue skies ahead, so full steam ahead. And then we turn finally, I think, to this card, which is the card called Young Staff. Now, what energy is coming here? Well, I think because he has arrived in your life, get ready for some real adventure. Now, it can indicate travel, change, as we've seen, or challenge, sometimes the unexpected. But you will be up to the challenge. There is electricity in the air. It is a great time to put ideas into motion. This guy brings a surge of creative energy that needs a grounding outlet. He indicates a need to learn how to harness this energy by setting boundaries and making a plan. You've got to have a plan. He encourages you to take, spiritually inspired adventures if you're so minded, but he sparks an interest in expanding your creative horizons. His strong creative energy and intuition They provide inspiration that will ignite the life force within you, awakening your soul self. You become a channel for divine inspiration that wants to be manifested. You feel alive and inspired by now, wanting to engage with the world around you. And heightened sexual energy is also around, I see. He brings hope and healing to any situation. He can also point to the beginning of a passionate romance if you're unattached. And I think those of you who are happily attached in a relationship, there will be a deeper resonance of the romance within that relationship. And I think he also speaks of somebody moving to a new location. He brings you the strength and courage to live your life with creative passion. Now, he and the Archangel Michael are one and the same. Michael is the first archangel created by God, the highest ranked, bringing divine protection, hope, truth, strength, and courage. And Archangel Michael symbolizes the power of life and the element of fire. And like this guy in fire, Michael holds the fiery sword of courage and hope, cutting away any fear that holds you back from being your true self. Michael is the ambassador for the protection of humanity and certainly for the protection of yourself. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards. Good job, you. Well, if you're like me, I think you will find the imagery on these cards striking and captivating. Now, I know that this is going to be a good month for you, so well done and all the best to you for 2023. Now, remember this until I see you next time, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.